know the truth because they choose the wrong part of the game. And so here I am here to let the people, the sons and daughters of the Federal Republic of Ambazonian, that we all in the diaspora, if all come together as we did in the front of the White House, and we exercise our braveness, we set our hands to our pocket, we went deeply to where we have the deepest cash, we release it to the public, and we release it to the Federal Republic of Ambazonian, soldiers that have sacrificed their lives for the interest that we may enjoy the freedom of our people. And so the only way we can do this is to exercise our braveness by going too deeply into our pocket, remove all the money we have, and fund our brothers that are in the war front, because we are now at war. La République du Cameroon, any citizens of La République du Cameroon that are in our soil is our enemy. They are either working as a security, they are either working as whatever capacity. I can assure you that they are spies in our territory. So once you identify any of them in the Ambazonia, immediately alert our defense force, because they know what to do. You don't know what to do, but they know what to do. Immediately alert them and step aside, so that you don't cut yourself entangled in this ongoing fight for our self-determinations. So I am speaking here, I am bringing this to the world community, the United States. Our people is at war. We have long over time, we have used all avenues as a means to solve this crisis. But unfortunately, we have met a bottom block. So I just want to take a moment to thank our men and women in ESU. They have exercised those braveness. They forced La République to retreat. And so doing so, every avenue that you find the opportunity, use it. And immediately, you should form a defensive block. Immediately, and let those back up to attack immediately. So that is the way we're going to do this, and we can achieve victory rapidly. So you got to fight smart, and we are together. What happened? In 1961, United Nations General Assembly. I am bringing this to the world because people may think that we are any. We are not any society fighting for freedom. We are a nation that was voted here in the United States. But unfortunately, we have a leadership crisis at the United Nations, that they fail to look at all things objectively. United Nations is in crisis. United Nations is led by the most worst leadership one has ever envisaged on this planet. And that is why the crisis is erupted in the world. This is the United Nations document that I'm going to be reading here. And you pay attention. United Nations Resolution 1608-XV on the 21st of April 1961. Here in the United States, the United Nations General Assembly at 994 plenary meetings on Friday the 21st of April 1961 at 3 p.m. in New York. That was the United Nations office that met in New York at 3 p.m. on the 21st of April. The United Nations General Assembly President was Mr. Frederick of Poland of Ireland. The United Nations 15th General Assembly Vice President was Xian of China. Rapporteur in that community was Boy of Denmark. Those were the leadership cabinet that met on the 21st of April. That was Friday at 3 p.m. at United States, here in the United States. The meeting was the Southern Cameroon independent vote. And the vote was to take effectively October 1st. And so that is why the people of Southern Cameroon in the last October, we celebrate it as the day that the Southern Cameroon independence was proclaimed. La République doesn't have their own independence. Their independence was 1960, January 1960. That is when La République got their independence. They have deviated from celebrating their own independence because they are unscrupulous, the most fraudulent government on earth. They have deviated from their own independence that they got. But the people of Ambazonia celebrate October 1. We are having October 1 that is coming. And I am reminding that fellow brothers and sisters, we are going to celebrate this day all over through the planet on earth. October is coming. October 1st, we are going to celebrate this October all over the planet, wherever federal citizens of Ambazonia is. On that vote that was to take effect on October 1, and I have just read the leadership that voted for the United Nations. 64 nations voted for, 23 voted against, and 10 abstained for the vote. Let's look at what nation actually voted for the sovereignty of the people of Ambazonia. Honduras, Hungary, Iceland, India, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, Ireland, Japan, Jordan, Laos, Lebanon, Liberia, Libya, Mali, Mexico, Morocco, Nepal, Netherlands, New Zealand, Nigeria, Norway, Pakistan, Philippines, Poland, Romania, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Sweden, Thailand, Tunisia, Turkey, Ukraine, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, Union of South Africa, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, United Arab Republic, United Kingdom, Afghanistan, Albania, Australia, Austria, Bolivia, Bulgaria, Burma, Belarus, Soviet Socialist Republic, Canada, Ceylon, Chile, Costa Rica, Cuba, Cyprus, Czechoslovakia, Denmark, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Ethiopia, the Federation of Malaya, Finland, Ghana, and Guinea. Those were the nations that voted for the sovereignty of the people of Ambazonia in 1964. And yet, our people still remain in disarray. And yet, the office voted. And the United Nations Secretary General, the current one we have at the office, Antonio Gutierrez, of course, he's a European. And so he has more influence to Europe descendant. And that is why France, the architect of African destruction, France, the architect of African destruction, African investment, Africa is in disarray because France is the key architect that destroyed the African continent. Africa is destroyed by the French government, and that is why I am bringing this to the rest of the world community to understand that Africa has come to a point where they must let France understand that Africa is no longer part of France. France must concentrate on their own territory and leave Africa alone. They will build their nations, they will invest, and they will do whatever for the interest of Africa and Africa alone. So what happened? What are the nations that voted against the United Nations for the independence of Southern Cameroon? We have them in orders. We have Israel, we have Ivory Coast, we have Luxembourg, we have Madagascar, we have Niger, we have Paraguay, we have Senegal, Upper Volta, Uruguay, Argentina, Belgium, Brazil, Cambodia, La République du Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, China, Congo, Brazzaville, Dahomey, France, and Gabon and Greece. One thing that you notice about these names that are listed that voted against the sovereignty of the people of Ambazonia, one thing you notice is that the list of those who voted against, they were all French. They have some linkage with the French government, because France persuaded them to vote against the sovereignty of the people of Ambazonia. That is why France is the architect that continued in every aspect to control the life of the people of Ambazonia. But however, we have come to the point that the people of Ambazonia must be free. And I can assure the world that France is the architect of destruction, not only from this current generation, but from the previous generation. I can quote you an example, like I just said before. Bismarck knew clearly that the sovereignty of the people of Germany cannot succeed if France will control every aspect. And so they will ensure, first, Bismarck, Otto von Bismarck was very skillful. He knew that to succeed, France must be defeated. And so, the first thing is to unify all the Germany to a one more unified entity. And that is exactly what the Federal Republic of Ambazonian do. We cannot fight single-handedly. And so that's why the coming of the Washington March is to significantly giving the advantages that unity is the most important thing that we must do. And so express our unity at the White House demonstration, our unity that we must face the enemy, La Republique, in a single-handedly. Because Bismarck was very skillful. He knew that Germany, a single state in Germany, cannot face France. And so a unified Germany will be more easier and faster to overthrow the French authority. And that is why the House of Mirror was when the proclamation of the German independence in the House of Mirror in France. So France has been the always destabilizer of peace and tranquility of the world. And so United States is not exception. Remember, taxation without a representative. That was the philosophy against the British Crown. And that is why we, the people of Ambazonia, is not exception. So we have stood up the same. We have, the past 56 years, our people have been brutalized. Our people have been slaughtered. Our people have been murdered by the most worst brutal regime, La Republique du Cameroon. They have not exercised any meaningful democratic government. And so we have done this. We have exercised this. We have elected our officials. And they demonstrate those abilities. But we must stood up for the freedom of our people. What were the nations that stood or the vote, they abstained? They were 10 in number. We have Italy. We have Burma. We have Peru. We have Portugal. We have Spain. We have Togo. We have Colombia. El Salvador. Guatemala and Haiti. And the meeting ended at 7 p.m. here in the United States. But yet our people have not yet got their independence. So what are you going to show our fellow brothers and sisters? That funding the war is a prime objective. That if you haven't been able to join, I know, and I know certain individuals, and you all know your own individuals as well, that are willing, not willing to join the momentum.